Coach Concerns with an opening statement.
Unbelievable matchup. It was a great game. I thought Texas A&M did a tremendous job, coming off their bye week and obviously starting the game how they started. They were sharp on every possible cylinder. I just thought our guys didn't play with their instincts early on, but we got through that half without having much of a deficit that didn't allow us to come back, right? We came into the locker room with some encouragement. Guys still made plays. We got to the foul line late in that half, but ultimately the tale of two halves is this. Our crowd fought with us and we made plays. Cruz did a good job early on. Bates did a good job throughout the half. I thought Mark Mitchell did some great things going 6 for 9, but when I made that substitution with Marcus Allen, that was the group that I had to stay with because they deserve it. They took that lead and was able to hold on to it for a couple possessions, but it's very tough at home, and we've been on the other side of it, where we've been on the road and we've kept the lead for over 30 minutes of a game. That's a tough situation to be in, and I'm just proud our guys fought back in that second half and was able to take the lead for 5+ minutes. Last possession offensively, hindsight's 20/20. I could have taken a timeout. I had one to burn. I just thought, we were going to be able to get to something, but our spacing got a little congested, and we had to throw up a tough shot, and that's on me, and they were able to execute. So that one's on me for sure, and I told and apologized to my team for it.
Questions?
Coach, what did you see on that last play with Wade Taylor?
Preseason conference player of the year, make a tough shot. Same thing you guys saw. He was 2 for 7 from the field, 2 for 8 from the 3. And I thought we were able to contest some shots from him early in that half and even throughout the game. And that one was the one that, players make plays. He was able to make the play, and it was a tough contest.
Coach, it looked like Mark Westwater was guarding Taylor for that final possession. Is that the look you wanted? Is that the personnel you wanted to run with?
Well, we knew who was going to shoot the ball. I think everybody in the gym knew that. So at the end of the day, he made a shot, right? And that we got to live with it. And ultimately, if it was up to me, I would do the same lineup that was out there defensively. Buzz called a timeout. I was able to shuffle my defensive guys in, and ultimately they went back to a play, and Wade made a shot.
Jacob, what can you say about the way you performed tonight? Looked like you found your shooting touch early in the game, and you really, penetrated the inside towards the latter stages of the game. How did it go for you today?
Like you said, I felt like I felt my touch, today. Just played free, and just, made some plays, felt good, got a groove, kept it going, and, unfortunately we lost, with that happening, but, I think it's a good momentum for me going into the next game and all of us to be able to respond to.
Tamar, obviously one of your guys' tougher shooting days. Did that have more to do with A&M's defense, or was that shots that you made that just didn't fall today?
Shots just didn't fall. We had the right guys shooting threes and just whatever shots they were period. We had the right guys taking them. Some of them just didn't fall, like just little bunnies around the rim. Even myself, just looked like just uncharacteristic misses. Shots that we usually make in the paint or threes. Ball just didn't go in, and sometimes that happens.
Coach, in this league you face opposing front lines on a nightly basis, but with A&M, Coleman, and Payne specifically, beyond their physical traits, what makes that such a tough challenge?
Well, I think from the standpoint of basketball IQ, those are 2 good basketball IQ guys. They execute the game plan, but more importantly, Coleman had double-digit rebounds in the first half and only had 5 in the second. I thought we did a better job defensively on him, but majority of his rebounds was on the defensive end. So he had 4 offensive rebounds in the first half, and he ended up with 0 in the second. From the standpoint of Payne gave them a different dimension. He was able to get points in the paint, but also get to the free throw line and shoot over 60% with his 10 makes. I thought 20 points, 4 rebounds from him kind of helped him without a doubt. But what I looked at the most was the 12-0 run and how our guys were able to hold that team to no field goals in 7+ minutes of a game. So I focus on the positive, and we just didn't have too many positive moments that overlapped everything else. From a statistical standpoint, you know, we had 11 offensive rebounds. They had 11, but they turned those 11 opportunities to 18 points. We turned those 11 opportunities to 9. From an analytical standpoint, we ended up with 17 fast break points, which was tremendous because we forced them to 10 steals. We got 10 steals. Live ball turnovers, our guys got up and down the court and was able to get there before their defense got settled. So from an internal standpoint, defensively, I thought we did a great job on Payne. That's what we wanted to give up against a top 10 team, and we wanted to minimize their three-point makes, which is what I think we did outside of that last possession.
Coach, you talked about going to Marcus Allen down the stretch with the closing lineup. What made you want to go to him in that spot, and what did you see out of him?
Well, Marcus Allen has a high basketball IQ on the defensive end. Is far ahead of his offense, but defensively he was in the right places. He has a bigger body. He was able to hold, but also when there was a switch opportunity on the ball screen, if his man set the ball screen, he wouldn't be able to guard the ball handlers, and that's why I went with him, and he did everything I asked and everything I knew he would do, especially when it came down to giving his team a spark. And that spark came from both he and Marquez Ward, who I ended up putting in at the point. It disrupted their shell, and ultimately, it defensively, you know, we did a great job.
Coach, what did you see them doing to Caleb Grill to keep him from getting clear looks?
Well, I think the other thing with Caleb Grill, Caleb was able to get a couple looks, and those looks didn't fall down. He shot 4 threes, and I think all 4 of those threes were wide open. But the gravity of which Caleb Grill played and was on the court was more important than the points. He spaced the court for Tamar. He spaced the court for Cruz to be able to operate, in addition to Marquez Ward, in addition to Tony Perkins. So those things helped our offense, him on the court. If they aren't gonna play 5-on-5 basketball and then just concentrate on Grill did a great job staying patient, setting screens, being able to move, and didn't force anything to my knowledge. And I thought the other guys were able to capitalize on it. But when he was open, I thought we got him an extra look. We were able to get him shots, and I just think our crowd was ready to explode if one of those threes were going to go down.
Coach, they are one of the best second chance teams in the country, as well as one of the best teams in the country at generating free throws. Knowing that, what was the game plan for you guys going into this game, and do you think you guys executed it well enough?
Well, we didn't execute the game plan early because there was no fouls called on them. I thought they had 8 to 9 free throws to our 0 attempts to start the game. And, you know, we were in situations where I thought we could have been on the other side of that, where we could have had about 4 or 5 free throws to start the game. And we didn't, and we got to do better. We got to be able to draw fouls in those situations and ultimately sell the play a little bit better. And I thought they sold their play and they got the call, and we didn't sell our play. When it comes down to what they were able to do, they finished with 23 free throws, but they're not one of the top free throw makes and percentages in our conference teams there is. And I think we were able to go 17 for 20 and shoot a high percentage, 85%. And I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of the fight our guys showed. I'm proud of our arena. It was electric in there, and I'm proud of these two to my right and left and what they were able to provide for their team. And we just didn't come out on the side that we wanted to come out on. The ironic thing about this conference, you can play well and still lose a game. That's how good this conference is. We lost our last 2 games by a total of 7 points to 2 top 10 teams. 1 on the last second shot, last second 3. How much better do you want our guys to play? I want them to continue to build on and continue to get better, and not focus on the past, but learn the lessons and move forward, because that's what's important in this conference.
Some questions for Tamar and Jacob.
Jacob, between the makes from 3 and the contributions inside, now that you're more than halfway through league play, how do you feel that your game is evolving and adjusting here in the SEC?
I'm happy with the way it's evolving. The more and more minutes I get, I feel like the more and more I contribute. like I said, it's great that I'm able to be in there and have the opportunities I have, and I'm just trying to make the most of it. And I think I did a great job of doing that tonight.
Tamar, what are the lessons you'd like to see the team take away from the way the last minute of this game unfolded?
The last minute?
Yeah.
I don't think we gave up any offensive rebounds in that last minute, so I mean, I feel like we did a good job executing down the stretch. I mean, we wanted to do something defensively to put two on Wade Taylor, but they never came and like set a screen where we could do that, and we weren't just gonna leave somebody and just be in rotation. So I mean, I gotta watch the film and just really be able to pick it apart a little bit more, because I mean, from what I can think about now, it's not really too much to say. They just made a big time shot.
For Tamar and Jacob, we've mentioned Marquez and Marcus giving you guys big minutes off the bench. How does that benefit you all to know that there are guys behind you that can step up, especially when needed in crunch time?
I mean, we talked about it all year. Every time we come in media, that our depth is our biggest weapon, and we understand that, and the guys that come off the bench understand that. So we know they always ready, and whenever they numbers called on, no matter how long they play, they gonna be able to give us something and just try and contribute to try and help us come out on top.
I think that's a great thing is our depth. Absolutely. You never know who's gonna have their night, and it can be multiple guys too. I mean, there's just so many different weapons and so many different styles of play, and we all understand that, and we're all there for each other when there is that person having their night or a couple people having their night. So I think that just is going to go a long way for us, as we continue going on into SEC play and then tournament play as well. I don't think there's any team, or there's at least very few teams that have the depth we have, and I mean, I think that's what's going to take us all the way.
One last question.
Coach, when a player like Wade Taylor picks up his fourth foul with about 8 minutes left, is that a directive to try to drive at him and make him pick up his fifth, or just kind of let the game come naturally?
Yeah, sometimes you can spend a lot of time trying to focus on that, but if it's not in rhythm and you don't have the opportunity, then I think a really experienced player is not going to put his team in a disadvantage and pick up a fifth, and you have to understand that. I think what our guys were able to do is defend at a high level and ultimately get us back in the game, and I'm proud of them for doing that. From a strategic standpoint, they executed the game plan for about 35 to 30 minutes and not the full 40. And I thought we spent too much time trying to be perfect and not just playing with our instincts, and Texas A&M took advantage of that to start the game. We were two different teams when it came down to the start of the first to the start of the second. Two totally different approaches, and I credit our guys for regrouping in the locker room, and I think that's a positive when you're able to identify those points of growth for your team and also for individuals. We ended up, like I said, executing a game plan. We were even on offensive rebounds to one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Where we wasn't even was with the points we gave on their second chance with the points we got on our second chance. The other part of that are transition points. We were at 17, they were at 2. We were at 26 bench points. So when you look at and try to figure out where did we lose the game, it's small things, and conversion of the second chance points is one that stands out to me. And that's where Texas A&M is one of the best in the country. Not just receiving the rebounds, but also second chance points. And we wasn't able to execute how we wanted to. But we won some categories, and I'm proud of that. But 5 minutes of time where we took the lead, I thought it showed character, and our team to be able to continue to play to the final buzzer is very important, especially when you're playing a tough team as tough as Texas A&M. That's a great team. We have a great conference, and it's the best basketball around. So I'm excited to watch the film tonight and see what else we can learn, but also bounce back, and that's what's going to be important in this league.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks, Coach.
MIZ.
Thank you.